Good morning everyone, my name's Judy and this afternoon we're going to be doing a folk art workshop for you. This is the second workshop that I've done for the Royal Voluntary Service. You'll find the Daisy tutorial on the website. This afternoon we're going to be learning how to do some more folk art flowers, heathers and roses, using a really simple technique that everyone can learn and enjoy. I'm going to give you a list of things that you might need if you want to join me and do it as you go along. But of course you can always watch again and do it later. And I hope you have lots of fun. I'll see you this afternoon. Bye! Here are some of the tools you're going to need to do some folk art. You'll need some card or some paper, some scissors to cut out a heart shape and a pencil to draw around. And then you'll need something to make dots and lines. So I've got here an old pen and a couple of nail art tools, which I find really useful. A screw, and the end here, that's really handy for making tiny fine lines. I've got a tester pot, but you can also use some acrylic paints if you have them. Hello everyone, my name's Judy and today I'm going to show you how to do some folk art. We're going to do some heather and some rose flowers. I've already done one tutorial for the virtual village hall for the Royal Voluntary Service. That's the Daisy tutorial and you'll find that on their website. First of all, I'm going to show you the tools that you'll need. Remember, you can watch the video as many times as you like. And if you are watching on Facebook, do ask some questions and I'll try and answer those as soon as I can. Hope you have lots of fun and let's get going. So this is one of the cards we're going to be doing today, and this is the rose heart. This is the other card we're going to be doing, the heathers. Here are some of the tools you're going to need to do some folk art. You'll need some card or some paper, some scissors to cut out a heart shape and a pencil to draw around. And then you'll need something to make dots and lines. So I've got here an old pen and a couple of nail art tools, which I find really useful. A screw, and the end here, that's really handy for making tiny fine lines. I've got a tester pot, but you can also use some acrylic paints if you have them. So this is the first card we're going to be doing today, which is the rose tutorial for you, and it uses two dots together that are then swirled around. I'll start by showing you. So first I'm going to draw around my heart. This can be quite light because you don't really need to see it. And it doesn't matter if it's a little bit rough and ready, because actually you're going to cover it up. And having drawn around my heart, I'm now going to do marking top, bottom, about 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock and so on. Trying to evenly space the heart that I'm going to create. You don't have to do this. You might just like to stick your finger in to make sure that the hearts and the flowers are evenly spaced, or you can be a bit random. It's totally up to you. Next, I'm going to start with my paint. I've got a little rag beside me just to wipe my brushes. I'm going to use my dotting tool and I'm just going to do a couple of flowers here for you. And wipe my paint. And then I'm going to use my second colour and put it right beside the first. And then using a clean tool, which could be a tiny nail, the end of a pencil, whatever you like, you're just going to swirl. Some people like to start from the middle and go outwards. Some people like to start from the outside and go inwards. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you to find the effect that you like. And of course, every flower is different, so it doesn't really matter if some are different to others. After that, I'm going to get my flower leaf colour, and I'm going to do 2 dots again side by side, and this time I'm going to pull one end towards the other to make a heart shape. Two dots and pull. Now I've done a heart facing each way, but you might like to just do single hearts all the way round. Totally your choice. I think I'll have a little dot in the middle here for this one. And again. Two dots close together. Use a smaller tool and pull in, and then I think I'll have another little dot here. So I'm going to carry on all the way round, and I'll come back to you when I've nearly finished. Well, here you are. This is the one that I've nearly completed. I've got one more rose to do. One red dot. And a yellow. Swirl them together. And on this version of the card, which I had on my desk as well, I've just done a single heart for the leaves and placed the flowers much closer together. So many variations you can do. Now you can see around the edge of this one, on this side, I've done some smaller dots all the way around, but some people like to place dots just by the flowers, and some people would prefer to place them by the leaves. I'm just going to try and place a few random dots beside the flower. On both sides. There. It gives a different feel. So here you are, 2 different effects. Totally your choice. Play around, have fun, see which one you prefer. Some people who are more organised prefer to cover the whole. Some people would prefer this is a bit more shabby chic style, which is quite popular at the moment. And there you have your rose card. Don't forget that you can also embellish an envelope to go with it, which is really lovely for somebody to receive. So this is the second card I'm going to do for you today, which is the heathers. For this card, you just need to start by making a few curves on the paper. I start generally from near the bottom, but not quite at the bottom, and just curve upwards for 2 large sprigs of heather, and then some slightly smaller ones. Try and make them go in different directions. Next, I'm going to get my dotting tool and I'm going to start near the top. I'm going to do working quite quickly on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, let's have a couple more. This is the largest sprig of heather, about 7 to 9 dots. And then I'm going to use a creamy colour right next door to those dots. And after that, I'm going to use the smaller end of my tool and I'm going to pull the dots in towards each other to the centre of my line. And you can blend these as much or as little as you like. There you are. How easy was that? And down here, I think I'll do about 7 dots. If you're using paint, you don't need to empty it into a big container, by the way. Just using the paint out of the lid is much more economical. And now I've wiped my tool. And I'm going to use a creamy or a white colour in between the blue dots. And then using a smaller tool, I'm going to pull them in towards my line. And merge them a little bit. So I get a blend of colours and shapes. Then I'm going to create the stems. And with this, I'm going to use a lighter colour near the top, and I'm going to do dot and pull. Dot and pull. It's like a flicking technique. And then to the side, a couple of smaller stems for leaves. Same on the blue one. And then as you get further down the stem, I've changed colours, just to vary the green. Now you can do this by adding a slightly darker colour. You might have several different match pots, or you could use the same green and make it lighter at the top by adding some white or a little bit of yellow, just to change and vary the greens, because there are so many wonderful greens in nature, aren't there? And here we are, you rejoin me as I've just got 2 more stems to do. So let's just recap what I've done. I've started with my darker colour and I've done an odd number of larger dots. So a central one at the top and then some on each side. And then you add a white or a creamy colour in between those dots and use a small tool to blend them in a diagonal line going in towards your pencil marks. And then using a lighter green, dot and flick going downwards down the stem. So the dot is at the top and then you pull downwards. And the same at the side for a couple of the leaves. And then here I'm going to add a bit of blue. Seven dots in total. And some cream in between. And then I'm going to pull the dots down in a diagonal line, blending them as much as you like. And I'm going to start with the lighter green. And to finish, a slightly darker one at the base of the stem. And there you have it. Again, don't forget that you can add an envelope as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. We've done 2 flowers today. The roses and the heathers. Do have great fun and enjoy creating. Bye for now.